Hey everybody, come on in the room. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Hey guys, come on through. Come on in the room. Just taking a minute and sending out some notifications, and we're going to begin shortly. Hello, hello, hello. How we doing? How we doing? Okay, good. I just shared what I needed to share. All right. Yep. Come on in the room. This is R. Christopher Brown III, and I'd like to have a conversation with you. If you'd like to have a conversation with me, as you come in, let me know if you can hear me pretty well, and if you can hear me, and don't mind doing this, would you share this video? Hashtag shared. Once you share it, so share the video first, and then in the comment box, place or say hashtag shared. That lets me know that you've shared the video. That helps me kind of keep up with where we are and what we're doing, so on and so forth. But come on in the room if you can, and let me know if you can hear me. Hello. Hello, Kim. Hello, Kim. Hopefully you can hear me. Let me know if I'm being able to be heard clearly. If not, I'll make some adjustments so that I'm a little louder if I need to be louder. But if I'm loud and clear, just let me know that I am, and we're good. Okay, good. Thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you for joining. If you are joining, would you help me by, hey, Felicia, would you share this video for me? It's in the Relationships Unplugged page, so share it, especially share it with other couples that you know, married couples or engaged couples. Man, I believe it'll even help some singles as they're walking towards and contemplating being married. It'll be good information for them. And then, if you would, hit hashtag shared, and then put that in the comment box so that I know that you shared the video, that you partnered with me to help in this particular video. Now, some may wonder, well, why put her first? What's all this about? It's actually a little in honor of Mother's Day. We're coming very, very closely to Mother's Day, and thank you for sharing, Felicia. And I kept thinking, I mean, I know it's Mother's Day, I get it, but what is a mother? A mother is a woman. A mother is her. And I think that sometimes we miss moments to be better for the hers in our life, especially the hers that we're in covenant with, the ringy kind of thing. Thank you for sharing, Delane. I appreciate that. And so it's been on me for a couple of days, and this morning when I got up, I thought, okay, well, today I'll do it. We'll do it during lunch so we can have a chat and chew and talk a little bit about this topic, put her first. Actuality now, let me tell you, it was a song that ended up playing. I was in somewhere eating, and I heard an old R&B song. I believe the guy's name is Jaheim. I believe it is. And the title of the song was "Better Put That Woman First." And it just was like, oh yeah, there it is. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about putting the woman first. All right, so give me maybe 30 more seconds, and we're going to begin talking. I just want to try to wait until we get one or two more people. You're being on now is a blessing, and I appreciate that. And so I don't want to waste your time for being the first ones on. I want to go ahead and get started, but I want to give 30 seconds or so just to give one or two other people to get on, and then we're going to go straight for it. If you're in and you haven't spoken, go ahead and speak to me so that I know that you're in, and we'd love for you to share the video. Okay, marriage. Let's start. Marriage is man. Listen, it's really an enigma. It is one of those things that can become a very confusing maze for many people, especially trying to navigate through marriage. And these two single people who decided that they like something about one another. I like the way we kiss when we're playing the kissing game, kind of deal. And now that they like the game being played on the kissing game standpoint, they now decide to begin to make a covenant out of the kiss. So they go from the kissing game to covenant. Now they're in covenant, but they're in covenant as two becoming one. And usually what happens is we enjoy the kissing game. We don't enjoy becoming one. We're a little more used to being separate than we are being one, and merging lives together, blending lives together. And so usually we have certain discrepancies as it would relate to help, and certain discrepancies as it would relate to working together, understanding, communication. I mean, I can go down the line of some of the different discrepancies that ends up happening. Hey, Marvin, thank you for joining, sir. And so, with that being said, I wanted to help the husbands out this day. I wanted to kind of give a couple of thoughts that I've had and things that I've actually implemented myself as it relates to putting that woman first, putting her first, keeping her happy. And so I want to give a few points to the brothers and to you sisters. And sisters, if I'm talking wrong, just say, no, Bishop, you wrong. I don't want that. Or no, Chris, whichever one you want to call me. I don't want that. Hey, Washanda, thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for sharing, Marvin. Hey, Marvin. Say, no, Bishop, that wasn't it. And I'll think through it, or I'll at least try to defend my point. Okay. Some people look at my wife and I marriage, and now let me say quickly, we're not perfect at all. Our marriage is not perfect. We're not perfect people. We're purposed people, and we attempt. I didn't say that we're knocking it out the park, but we attempt to be intentional with our marriage, because one thing that we've realized beyond a shadow of a doubt is that marriage takes work. Man, marriage takes work. And usually that work is not the person working on the other person. You know, usually when we say marriage takes work, or if you think that you got to make the marriage work, you're talking about making the other person be something else, instead of understanding that the work of marriage doesn't start from you telling them, it starts with you telling you. That's a good point right there. That's for you women and for you men. That's for you wives and you husbands. That working on a marriage doesn't begin with you telling them. It begins with you telling you. Right? Somebody put that in the comment box. That when I begin to work on my marriage, the work of my marriage does not, hear me again, does not start with you telling them. It starts with you telling you. Okay. And so, having said that, I thought, okay, let's give a couple of points to help husbands put their wives first. Now, I'm going to have to throw another disclaimer out there that no person can make another person, quote unquote, happy. Happy is on the shoulders of the person. That single person. My happiness is my job. But even though happiness is my job, it is good to have someone who is doing their best to try to make you happy or help you, because not make you happy, trying to assist in your making of yourself happy. That's really the job of the other person, because I can't make you, but I can certainly assist you on your journey towards becoming happy. You see what I'm saying? And so then when you get two people within a relationship who their whole thought process is, what can I do to help the other along their journey towards happy, then you end up creating this beautiful cyclic pouring into one another, one pouring into the other pouring into the other. And it begins this cycle of love, this circle ring of love, this never-ending circle of love that makes marriages wonderful. Okay, all right. And so I want to talk to the fellas and ladies. I want you to listen. I want you to listen in of what I'm going to tell them, so that when you're talking to your husband, you can just kind of point back to some of these points and say, see, yeah, that's what I meant right there. I mean, I was saying it wrong. I didn't really understand how to say it, but this is what I meant. Point number one, let's get into it. All right, the first point that I want to make, here's how men, husbands, you can make your wife happy. Number one, make talk time a daily habit. Let me say that again. All right. Number one, make talk time a daily habit. Now, this is not like number one priority. It's just how I listed them. Okay. Make talk time a daily habit. Thank you for sharing, McManus. All right. What do you mean by that? Don't allow yourself to become so busy that you cannot spend 15 minutes a day talking with your wife. By the way, the last 15 minutes of your day when you're utterly exhausted doesn't count. Uh-oh. Back it up, flip it, and reverse it. Okay. Don't allow yourself to become so busy that you can't spend 15 minutes a day talking. Okay, I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was, but at any rate, and I've gotten a lot of this from a site called Crosswalk. So it's not all my content. I'm going to add brown gravy to it, but so it's not all my content. But I mean, great points. And so using some of their thoughts and adding gravy to it. Here we go. Make talk time a daily habit. Don't allow yourself to become so busy that you can't spend 15 minutes a day talking with your wife. You need to spend at least 15 minutes a day. At least 15 minutes. And the 15 minutes, like right before you pass out for sleep, that doesn't count. That giving them what's left of you is not the same as giving them what's best of you. Let me say that again. Giving them what's left of you is not the same as giving them what's the best of you. Now let's think about it, men. You've given your job, or whatever your job is, you've given the rest of your day 100% of you. If you're at a job, it gets 100%. If you're an entrepreneur, it gets 100%. If you're at the home gets 100%. I mean, it gets 100% of you. If you're on the phone with your friends, it gets 100% of you. If you're of the younger generation, and you all, because I still used to, I don't get a chance to play as many games as I like now, but if you're playing video games, it gets 100% of you. If you're playing games on your phone, it gets 100% of you. If you're watching videos on your phone, it gets 100% of you. It gets 100% of you. Your children, when they come around, they get 100% of you. Your parents, your family, extended family, they get 100% of you. And then you go home, or you're at home, and it's time to talk to your wife, and they get what's left. So what they begin to feel, what they begin to feel is they are not important in your life, and the only time that they are important is if you want sex. Now, I'm gonna be raw, okay? So then they kind of shut down a little bit on the sex side because you're only talking to them because you want some sex. I started to say something else, but I mean I tried to keep it. Thank you, McManus. Okay, so they should at least 15 minutes. I mean, think about it. So if you're a businessman, when you come home, I get it. You're trying to defrag. You're trying to kind of come down from the work of business, and so you may need a minute or two to kind of just take off the role of businessman, the role of worker, the role of construction, all of the roles that we have to take on and come back to you. Don't let that be forever. Thank you for sharing, Washonda. Don't let that be forever. As a matter of fact, make that, if you have a commute between home and work, let that commute time be your come down time. So once you hit the door, or once they hit the door, then you all can engage in meaningful conversation. Now, hear me now. Meaningful conversation, brothers, is not just, how was your day? I love you, but hear me now. That's you got to go a little deeper than, how was your day? That sounds a bit robotic. It sounds a bit disconnected. Doesn't sound like you're interested at all. It's just, you may need to ask them how was their day so that they don't get angry. No. I'm talking about taking at least 15, and women, you help me. The time part for them doesn't really matter. What matters to them is that you've shut everything else out for that moment, and it's just about them. Thank you for sharing, Natasha. Amen. Thank you, Melvin. Yeah, that's exactly right. And so you make it just about them, and you're engaged fully in their conversation. You got to make talk time a daily habit. You have to get into the habit of talking daily to your wife. One of the major things to cause a marriage to completely break down is the lack of communication. I know you hear it all the time, but sometimes we feel like, again, the communication is, how was your day? Or the communication happens right before you go to bed, and then you're just completely exhausted. Or the communication happens when you're just trying to get some. You follow what I'm saying? And so in your head, you think you'll get some conversation, your I'm getting ready to go to bed conversation, I'm about dead in my mind conversation, or your how was your day, and that's it, is enough. And that is not enough. That they want you to engage them in a level of meaningful conversation that can help their mind relax, help them exercise a bit of defragging, because many times the way they defrag is not how we defrag. Sometimes the way they defrag is talking it out. The way we defrag is thinking it out. You see what I'm saying? And so because they're more communicating beings than we are, then you got to give them that platform to communicate. Now, hear me, ladies. I know that I want to make it all about the men, but hear me, ladies. Don't turn that 15 minutes into a whole hour, because you might mess up your opportunity for the 15 minute, right? And if you've never had any communication at all ever, it may be good. You might not like it quite like this, but it may be good for you to set a timer. Now, I get it, women. What do you mean a timer? But if you've never had any conversation meaningful, then set the timer there so that he can see a start and end time, right? And so can you, as it relates to conversing. All right, that's enough of that. Hopefully that one helped. Okay, so number one was talk. You got to talk daily. Oh, and by the way, the talk that you want to have is not the kind of talk that just deals with bills. Oh, I'm talking good right now. I'm giving you too much actually, but oh well. Yeah, it's not to talk about bills. Yeah, see, that's called maintenance conversations, and maintenance conversations pales in comparison to vision conversations and or relational conversations. I don't want to just hear, can you pay my bill? Can you pay my telephone bill? Can you pay my automobile? I don't want to hear all that. Let's not deal with the bills. Let's talk about us. All right. Okay. Thank you, McManus. Number two is connected to number one. All right. Number two and number one has great levels of connectivity and connections. Okay, so number two, for that 15 minutes that you all are deciding to talk, act like you want to hear it. So number one, make time to talk. Number two, act like you want to hear it. Oh my. I know. Here we go. Thank you for sharing yours. I know the things that that wives talk about sometimes can be boring, long-winded, a bit dramatic, almost even illogical, or all of the above it sometimes. But if you simply act as if you care about what they're saying, that means the world to them. You may not have a clue what they're talking about. They could be talking about Yaki, right? They could be talking about Sue and what Sue did. And I mean, they could be talking about their job. It could make like absolutely no sense to you. But if you sit there and number one, you are not looking at them. Number two, you have this look on your face like, what? It discourages them. So you need to act like you're interested. All right. You act interested not because every conversation is riveting. You act interested not because everything is pertinent to you. You're acting interested because it's important to her. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying there? And so then once you have number one, you've created some talk time. Number two, during that talk time, act as if you're interested. That means, yeah, you might not like this, brothers. You might not like me now, but you're gonna love me. That means you got to put your phone down. Put it down, and act interested. That means, you might need to excuse the children. Now, that might be more the mothers than it is the fathers. That might be more the wives than it is the husbands. But you might want to excuse the children. They're okay. And if they start to crying, let them cry. Crying ain't never hurt not one child. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, no, let them cry. I'd rather they cry for a short period of time, for 15 minutes, than they cry for years because you're in divorce court. Because one, you never made talk time, and two, you didn't act interested. Okay? You may have to put that phone down. You may have to put those kids to the side, let them go do something. You're going to have to put that, I'm coming for you, you're going to have to put that video game down. Thank you, Gardner. Teach the younger. I'll do my best. That's why I put that point right there. You got to put that video game down. No, you're not talking to her if you're... That means you are not giving her your undivided attention. Put that game down. That's what they created the pause button for. Good God of mercy. I almost said slap somebody and tell them pause. Yeah, hit that pause button. And when you hit the pause button, don't keep looking at the screen like it's gonna move. Pause means pause. So you don't have to keep looking at the screen wondering what's happening. Nothing's happening. Turn your attention towards her because you want to act as if you're interested. If there's a game on the TV, they have a wonderful piece of technology now to where you can pause live TV, or you can turn the TV off and rewind live TV. Oh my God. Better still, you can record it and go back and watch it at any point. You got to act as if you're interested. So you fellas could be saying, yeah, we talk all the time. But they're talking to the side of your face, not the front of your face. Oh yeah. You don't want them to have the side of you don't want to look at the side of their face when you're in your thing. And you know the thing, that thing, right? No. You want them to look at you. Matter of fact, you probably want them to call your name and all that kind of stuff. But what if they decide, I'm gonna turn my head to the left or to the right, and I'm gonna look at my phone while you doing your thing? Come in this room. Are y'all in this room? Come on in here. Come. Right? Yeah, no, you're gonna have some problems, right? So turn your attention directly towards that woman. Now listen, in the box there where we posted this video, I have a link, www.igettotserve.com/it's love thing, ITSLOVETHANG. Click that link after the video, and I want you to sign up for more of this. I need you to sign up for more of this. Right now, you can get 8 months of teaching from my wife and I about marriage. 8 months. You can get 8 months of teaching, one video a month of teaching on marriage from my wife and I. If you go to that link and sign up right now, every month you'll get a video for a minimal fee. I mean minimal. And every week you'll get an activity that both of you can do together that costs no money. Yeah, we came up with activities that cost no money to kind of help keep that love juice flowing. You follow what I'm saying? So after this video, go click that link, www.igettotserve.com/it's love thing. That's THANG, not an I. All right. We want to be a blessing to you with that particular piece. All right. So number one, you got to talk. All right. Somebody help me out and put these points in the comment box. So one, make talk time. Number two, act interested during the talk time. All right. Number three. Hopefully you're ready for it. You got to, throughout the day, be affectionate. Thank you for sharing, Kevin. Throughout the day, you must be affectionate. Oh, my. Throughout the day, you must be affectionate. You cannot start being affectionate when, here again, you want that thing. That don't fly well. And many times when you still end up getting it, within their head, they're thinking, yeah, he only said something to me because he wanted this. I'm telling you what they're thinking. So then you want throughout the day to remember the effect. Remember the affectionate way you would hold her hand, put your arms around her waist, and kissed her softly when you were just courting. When you were trying to just, I want to know your name kind of deal. Ask her what her interests are. Who she be with. Please to make her smile. What numbers to dial. You gonna be here for a while? you see, I mean, just whatever. But you held her hand. You kissed her. You hugged. When you were in the car, you grabbed her hand while you were in the car. You got to be affectionate. Well, you may say, well, preacher, bishop, pastor, whatever you want to call me, I don't see her during the day. Yeah, but you got text messages, don't you? Mm-hmm. And so then you can text a kiss. Goodness gracious. How about get up early enough before she gets to her car and have a note there? Well, okay, that's going to be, I already gave you my point 4, but you follow. So make sure there is some physical connection that doesn't necessarily lead straight to the wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Let me say that again. Make sure that there is some physical connection that doesn't lead straight to the wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. That's right, notorious. Remind yourself to be romantic Yeah, be romantic. Um, and not romantic just for sex. Romantic because you love them. So throughout the day, you got to be affectionate. I hope this is helping some of y'all out there. All right, number four. Number four is kind of connected to what I said. I kind of let it slip. So here's number four. Write a love note. Write a love note. Okay? It doesn't have to be poetry. It doesn't have to be poetry. But listen, if you need help, you can Google sweet things to say to your wife or to your spouse. Write a love note. And make it from your heart. Now, don't say stuff that, really is not your heart. Like, if you know you're not going to do it, by the way. Oh, I can't wait till you get home. I'm going to take you on an excursion I'm going to take you on an excursion to the Philippines. Maybe you don't want to go to the Philippines. Well, whatever. You follow what I'm saying. You know good and well you're not taking that girl to no excursion to the Philippines because you can't afford it, right? So don't write a note that you don't mean and that you can't fulfill. Make the note heartfelt. Think about things like, did she do something that week that just really blessed your heart, that made you fall in love with her again? Why not write a note about that and leave it somewhere where she can find it? Something that she said, something that she put on, the way she smiled, and write it in a note. When she smiled like this, it made me feel like. Any little thing like that will have major implications upon their heart towards you by simply making a note. See, I think we overthink it, and you're trying to do all these great big things now. Hear me, they want big things. They like big things. But something as simple and small as a note from your heart would turn that woman closer to you and make her happy. You got to put that woman first. Because if you don't put her first, and by nature, women usually, now if you didn't marry a woman and you married a girl, this might not work. But if you've married a woman, then usually by nature the woman puts people before her, especially her spouse and her children. And so then if you're never putting her first, that battery is going to start draining in her piece towards you. And when it gets on empty, you're going to be hoping and wishing for what it is all you had to do is maintain. Plug into the power source and do some of these things. So write her a note. Write her a note. How is she doing as a mother? I mean, Mother's Day is coming up. So write a note about how great of a mother that she is. Let me pause for a minute. And if my wife ever watches this back, or the replay of this, or if she's watching live now, my wife is a phenomenal mother. I mean, she's like mother of the year sometimes. She does stuff that I'm sitting there looking like, what are you doing all that for? Sit down some way, right? Leave them churn alone. But no, my wife will go like umpteenth and above to make sure that my kids are well taken care of. And so if you're watching, baby, you are a phenomenal mother. My kids could not have had a better mama than Trina Nicole Brown. You rock. You rock. So, I mean, take moments and write little notes. They got video cameras now. I mean, we're watching live video now. So how about today, brothers, if you're watching this, you brothers, do a quick 10-second, 15-second, 30-second video and send it to your wife. As a matter of fact, I want you to do that. And when you do it, brothers, inbox me saying, I did it. Say, I did it. I did my first video note. It wasn't handwritten, but it was video. I mean, we might as well, since technology has given us these abilities, let's do it. Now here again, all it is a love note via video. Let it be 15 seconds. Let it be 30 seconds. You got to say a whole lot because you might not know what all to say. So now, if you can't hold your tongue right, then keep that thing as short as possible. But if you can hold your tongue right, take 30 seconds to a minute and just write her a love note or speak a love note to her. Yeah, she'll appreciate it. Okay, here's my last one. Let's recap real quick, and then I'll give you my last one. So, number one, one of the first things you want to do, again, this is not necessarily chronological order, it's just my thoughts. So, or at least the thoughts of this article that I was reading from Crosswalk. It is make talk time. Every day, take at least 15 minutes to talk, right? To have a conversation. And the conversation should not be about bills and children every single day. That is not talk time. That's strategy time. We're not talking about strategy. We're talking about you and me. Okay? Number two, when you're talking, act like you're interested. Turn the video game off. Sit your phone down. Put them churn out. Not outside. Put them somewhere in the house. Let that dog bark. Let nothing interrupt the conversation, and give her total time. Total time. That's exactly right, Cooper. Do something out of your comfort zone. Give her total time during that talk time. All right? Act like you're interested. That was the second one. So while you're having talk time, act like you're interested. Number three, be affectionate throughout the day. If you can't see her physically, then send some digital love. Man, listen. Boom, 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 computer love. You follow. Send some computer love her way. As a matter of fact, I just challenged you. I challenged you, husbands. Some computer love. I need to see you do it. And if you do it, inbox me. Hey, I did it. Matter of fact, you can inbox me your video if you want. That is, if it's clean enough. If I can't see it, if it's for her eyes only, let it be for her eyes only. But absolutely, let her know how good she is. Send her a digital love, computer love today. That was I did 3 and 4. So be affectionate was 3. Number 4 was to write a note or deliver it digitally. Number 5, and I'll let you go. I actually got about 5 more, but maybe we'll come back on tomorrow. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe we'll come on tomorrow around about 1:00 tomorrow and give you the other 5. Here's the last one I'm going to say for today. Now make sure you're sharing this video. There's some couple that can be blessed by you just hitting the share button. Don't be selfish. Don't be greedy. Share it with somebody. Somebody needs your help, or the help that's being said on these points. They're simple, but they're powerful. All right, here it is. Number 5. Take her on a date. Hear me now. As simple as a coffee date, a Danish date, a donut date. What about a lake date? Let her know you want to hear all the details of her day over a nice hot cup of coffee. Bishop, she don't like coffee. Okay. Over a nice cold cup of icy. Well, she don't like icy. Okay. Over a nice Danish. She don't like a Danish. Okay. Over a nice donut. She don't want donuts. Okay. Over, you follow what I'm saying? Whatever it is they like, the small thing, you all go there and let that be their time. Show her that you're interested in her, and take that 1 to 2 hours, and it just be just me and you. Yeah, just the two. Not talking about. All right. Flying kites at the beach. Look. Oh my God, I love it. I love it, Melvin. Do that. And by the way, don't take the children. I know it. We gotta read these here churn. Now hear me, you do. And you got a responsibility to do that. But don't take them on that quick 1 to 2 hour coffee date or donut date. Let them stay, or arrange for there to be somebody to watch them. Keep taking to grandma. Somebody. That's right, McMahon. You'll eat the Danish just because he brought it. You see what I'm saying, brothers? Some of them just go ahead and do it because you brought it. Not because they like it, but because you took them there to do that particular piece. All right. On that date, when you go on that date, hold her hand, open the door of the car for her, brag about her to the people that you're going to order from. I mean, make that person jealous. May I take your order? Listen, you're getting ready to take the order of the most beautiful woman in the world. Look at her. Look how beautiful she is. I mean, she's built. She's stacked. Got all the curves her husband likes. Yeah, look at her. She's a bad mama jamma. The truth about Aroni, she's a sweet old girl. About the sweetest little girl in the whole wide world. She makes the toughest homeboy fall deep in love. See, once you get that kind of Roni, you'll never get enough. you follow. Brag about her to people while you're out there on a coffee date, a donut date, a Danish date. Go to McDonald's. It doesn't matter. Let them little kids at McDonald's say, "Can I take your order?" Yeah, and then say, "Little girl, listen." You saw what I'm saying. Whatever it takes, you make sure that you brag on her while you're on that very simple 1 hour, maybe hour and a half. Can we talk for a minute, girl? I want to know your name kind of date. Okay, that's the 5. I got way more. I'm not gonna give you any more. Here's what I want you to do. Go over to my website. Somebody that's listening to me, put this in the comment box for me. www. The Preaching Prophetic. Tracy, you are crazy. That's one of my spiritual daughters, y'all. Tracy Blue. She says I'm the Preaching Prophetic Jukebox. Somebody else called me a jukebox, by the way. I'm a 80s baby. I was born in the 70s, but I'm a late 70s, 80s, early 90s baby. All I know is R&B and that kind of thing, and the Bible. I know all of them, plus the Bible. Okay, so yeah, do me a favor. Type this website into the comment box for me. www.iget2serve.com / it's ITS love LOVE thing THANG. I want you to go to that website, click that website, and look at a couple of testimonials that we have up there on that particular website. And I need you to subscribe to, at this point now, 8 months of teaching from my wife and I. 8 months. That's it. www.iget2serve.com / it's love thing. Thank you. Go there, click that link, subscribe to the 8-month teaching. Hear me. I'm talking about almost 8 hours worth of teaching from my wife and I about marriage. And you'll get 1 video a month for 8 months. But here's this. You'll also get every single week at least 2 activities that you can do with your spouse that cost you absolutely nothing. They're free. Now, there are a few that I'll put in there that you may have to pay a little something for. But the majority that we send, they're free activities that you'll be able to do with your spouse. And so hear me, ladies and gentlemen, don't just take these moments lightly. Invest in your marriage. And so, okay, I'm looking for some of y'all to hit my website today. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go and check and see if anybody went on in and got themselves signed up. Get you and your spouse signed up today. Today, do that. And I promise you, I believe that you'll be blessed by some of the thoughts that we have as it relates to marriage. Nobody's perfect, and we're not trying to be perfect. My wife and I, we're not perfect, but we want to take all the purpose that we have with the intention that we've done with working on our marriage and bless somebody else with it. We don't have a perfect marriage. We have a purposed marriage. I'm not the perfect husband. Yeah, I'll be the first to tell you. Now, my wife might say I'm perfect. I am not the perfect husband. I'm trying. I'm trying to be. And I don't mean that lightly. Some folks say they're trying and they're really not. No, I'm trying. I'm trying to be. I'm trying to make my wife the happiest woman in the world. I want to make her the envy. And so I'm doing my best to do that. I'm trying to do it. I fail a whole lot. And so my failures, you get a chance to benefit from that you won't fail where I failed at. My wife, she's not perfect. She's not the perfect wife. She's perfect for me, but she's not the perfect. She's perfect for me, perfect to me, but she's not the perfect wife. And her failures, you all can learn from. And so go to that website. Thank you for putting that in there, Sabrina. Thank you for putting that in there, Tracy. Thank you for putting that in there, Felicia. I appreciate you. Refreshing and motivating. That's what I want to hear, McManus. Great. So go to that website, click it, and join in for 8 months for 8 hours, or at least 8 hours, or close to 8 hours worth of teaching on marriage. It's right at your fingertips, and you can get the video sent to you and watch it at your leisure. You have to watch it within a week, and then the video goes away. But, I mean, you get a whole week to take time to listen to about 45 minutes worth of content, marriage specific. Can't get any better than that. All right, so I'm going to sign off for today. Do me a favor. How many of you will join me tomorrow at 1 p.m.? And if 1 p.m. is not good, tell me a better time. I want to listen to you. Those of you that listen to me today, you'll be my test audience. If you're watching back the replay, maybe you can comment and I can go back and look as well. But I'll need to make the decision by tonight. If you're willing to come back on tomorrow at 1, I'm willing to get back on at 1 and finish out this teaching. All right, I got 2 hands up. Good. So tomorrow at 1, we'll come back with Put Her First Part 2. Put Her First Part 2. Make sure you get your husbands on the line. Take plenty of notes. Talk about the notes that we say. It's going to help garner the conversation. And I believe that your marriage will end up being the perfect marriage for you as you decide to make an investment in your forever after. You've just added value to your I do. This is Bishop R. Christopher Brown, the relevant leadership strategist, senior pastor of the Sword of Truth, presiding prelate of Kingdom Fellowship of Ministries, CEO of R.C. Brown Enterprises, currently running for Marlboro County Council seat 7, and just regular old fella who wants to make sure that you win in every way you can. Let's win together. I'll partner with you if you'll partner with me. God bless.